Today, I'm speaking with one of our past graduates about their experiences as an undergraduate, as a postgraduate, and beyond. So hopefully this interview will give you some ideas about potential pathways that you could take after you've completed your undergraduate degree. So Cath, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone. My name's Cath Kidman and I work at the moment for Wynn's Coonawarra Estate as a viticulturalist.
And where is that, Cath?
Sure. So Coonawarra is about 4 hours south of Adelaide, so south of the toll gate, and not too far away from Mount Gambier, a lovely spot.
Beautiful. So what undergraduate degree did you undertake, when and where?
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Victoria, actually quite close to the Yarra Valley. So I did my undergraduate degree at La Trobe University, and they had a course in viticulture. So I studied viticulture back in 2000, so from 2000 till 2004. And I also undertook my honours thesis through La Trobe University in partnership with CSIRO up in Mildura.
Excellent. So did any particular courses in your undergraduate degree have a significant impact on your decision to undertake further study?
I was always really interested in the sciences throughout high school, and particularly biology. So, and also having an interest growing up in the Yarra Valley in wine grapes. But I suppose throughout university, the real thing that sort of piqued my interest in research and furthering my research was a cadetship that I undertook during the second year of university. La Trobe University had cadetship programs sort of throughout the state of Victoria, and I ended up being awarded a cadetship up at the DPI in Irimple near Mildura. And that was basically working with all the research and extension officers in viticulture up there. And it was a really good, I guess, foray into what you can do with viticulture and research, development and extension. So that was probably the pivotal moment where I went, oh, this could be really fun, and it's a way to continue the research but also have quite a practical outcome. So that was, I guess, what really put me on my pathway to sort of being a research viticulturalist.
So what made you decide to actually take that extra step and do a PhD, and how did you decide who you'd like to supervise you?
Sure. So whilst up in Mildura, as I was working with DPI, we were also closely affiliated with CSIRO at Merbeen, which was sort of just up the road. And I had a lot of interaction with them during my cadetship. And I guess talking with the researchers, they were sort of, giving ideas as to potential projects that should be undertaken or where the gaps in the industry were. And I guess I sort of started thinking, well, maybe I could fill these gaps and do an honours project, and started talking with a few of the researchers, and I guess we came up with a bit of a project that I was able to undertake at CSIRO in Merbeen. And I had always had quite a fascination for flowering and the fruit set process in grapevines, and it just so happened that there was a project that was looking at that up at Merbeen, so I was able to sort of combine those sort of interests and do an honours project. And I guess that was the start of what sort of got me interested in furthering my research as well. I loved my honours project. I loved everything to do with the flowering and fruit set process of grapevines. They're just fascinating. And so I thought maybe one day I might be able to do a PhD in this field as well.
And
I guess sorry, go.
No, you go on.
Well, I guess with doing a PhD, I wasn't quite ready to go from honours into a PhD. I sort of felt I needed some more industry experience, and again, that was sort of, I guess, based on being up in Mildura and seeing, how much there is to learn in viticulture. And I really have quite a practical sort of side, so I wanted to get out and see what was going on in the industry, but with the hope that maybe one day I could come back and do a PhD, and that's what I was able to do.
So you spent a couple of years, was it, out actually working, and
Yes.
then came back to undertake a PhD based here at the Waite?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So I had a few jobs. I was working as a viticultural agronomist, and then I was really lucky to get a role as rootstock project manager with the Phylloxera and Grape Industry Board of South Australia. And I had to move to Adelaide to do that. And I was doing some really cool projects with grapevine rootstocks, working with some industry legends like Dr. Mike McCarthy up at the Research Centre in Newry. And again, sometimes these things just happened. Started talking to Mike about what research, where the gaps are in research, and he sort of suggested that maybe there's a PhD in this, and I guess with further chatting and also my interest with flowering and fruit set got me sort of talking with Dr. Cath Collins, who's obviously an expert in this area, and we were able to sort of craft a project that was relevant to my role with the Phylloxera and Grape Industry Board, but could also satisfy a PhD candidature as well. So it was pretty cool. And then I also, to boot, I had Dr. Peter Dry, who was a Phylloxera board member at the time, but also obviously a guru in rootstocks and water stress and obviously flowering and fruit set. So that's how my sort of, I guess, project evolved or came about.
So you were supervised by the A team by the sound of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. It was really good. I had a fantastic supervisory team. Yep, and they were all really lovely, really supportive, and I guess gave me the opportunities to pursue that research. So it was great.
So as you were working while doing your PhD, which I imagine was a pretty big task at some times, you probably didn't get to the weight very often. But when you did, what were some of the nice things about being involved with the Wait campus?
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. I was an external student, so I was studying part-time and working full-time. But I guess I did get to the Wait sort of relatively frequently. I wasn't there all the time, but there for sort of, I guess, sort of periods of time. And what I really loved is just the culture at Wait. Like, everyone had a smile on their face. They were happy to be there, stopping for a chat, even though I sort of had, it could have been months between sort of visitations for me at the Wait. Everyone was really, really positive and really supportive, just asking, how's the project going? What are you up to? What's going on? What's happening out in the, in the vines at the moment. It was just, I think, as I said, it was just the culture. It was really lovely and very supportive, and I think that's what I really liked. Even though I was, I guess, a stranger because I wasn't there all the time, I never really felt like it. It was really collaborative and really lovely.
That's nice. So tell us a bit about the job that you are doing currently.
Sure. So I've been with Wynn's Coonawarra Estate since 2011. So I basically sort of finished off my thesis writing whilst taking on this new role. And my role is, I guess, a viticulturalist with Wynn's Coonawarra Estate, and I'm in charge of pretty much all the, I guess, research and development and technical aspects of growing grapes down here. So we have roughly about 700 hectares that we grow for Wynn's down here, and predominantly Cabernet and Shiraz. And a lot of my tasks are making sure that we have quality grapes and doing a lot of new research and extension trials to ensure that we have a quality product. So looking at things like climate change, what else? Water relations, so trying to be more efficient with our irrigation practices, so doing some really cool stuff there. But also the other really fabulous thing is I still get to collaborate with Adelaide Uni, and that's fantastic. So my contacts that I've made, with, say, for example, Cath Collins and also Sardi, but with Mike McCarthy, have just been fabulous. So I'm doing quite a number of projects with Cath Collins, so through the University of Adelaide. So I think that's been really excellent, that I can still maintain my research connections and still have that sort of that toe in the water in terms of research, but having a very practical outcome.
Thank you so much for talking to us today, Cath. It's been really great, and good luck with the vintage that is very soon going to happen. And I hope it'll go really well for you.
No worries. Thanks for your time, Beth. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.